So the name of the talk, it's our strategy to create win-win relationships using social contests. And what we're going to be covering today is how to leverage social contests to create win-win relationships, the #1 mistakes companies are making with social promotions, and top tips on how to run your next campaign. All right, so sounds good. So before I get into actual social contests, we talk to people every single day and people will say, you know what, I think I know what a social contest is, or I've ran a contest before and it turned out good or bad, or we hear lots of stuff in between. And probably the biggest thing that we hear, we'll say, yeah, I ran a contest in the past, maybe a couple of years ago, and it was a like to win contest, right? They posted something on Facebook that said, hey, like this for a chance to win. Or they said, hey, like our Facebook page for a chance to win. And in our opinion, this is a big no-no, and I'll tell you why in a sec. The second one people often run are comment to win, right? So they'll have a post there and say, hey, comment on this post for a chance to win, or tag for a chance to win, or share for a chance to win. Now, the issue with these, the type of contests that are spaced 100% on social engagement, is that what you end up doing is you end up building a big social audience. So you might get 100, 200, 300, 1,000 Facebook likes, 10,000 Facebook likes. But if you guys have been staying up to date with social media releases recently, you'll see that organic reach is actually on the decline. So what that means is that if you have 100 people who like your Facebook page, and that's the goal of the contest, and you publish something, you say, hey guys, here's a new product that we have, or here's a new service that we're offering. What happens these days is less than 2% of those people will actually see your content. So you're growing an audience and you're constantly swimming against the current trying to reach those people because you can't follow up. And at the end of the day, if you can't follow up, there's really not a lot of value there. All right, so that's the first thing I want to say. The second thing, people say, okay, well, if you don't want me to just focus 100% on growing a social audience, what am I supposed to do? Right? How are we supposed to leverage social media, contests, these types of things to generate more customers and give a better customer experience? And the thing that we say is grow an email list. So focus on having a tangible action that you want people to take when they're entering into the contest. And it's possible that some of you guys are not 100% sold on email marketing. So I'll just give you a couple stats here to kind of reiterate the fact that it is still alive and well. So the stats show that for every $1 you guys can spend on email marketing, on average, you can expect an average return on investment of $32. And for any channel, any marketing channel, that is insane. The second one is that a lot of businesses are still relying on email marketing, right? So 81% of small and medium-sized businesses still use email marketing as a primary acquisition channel. And that's actually a number that's growing. So we see the total number of email accounts on the planet, 3.7 billion, and we're looking to grow that actually a lot more in the next coming years as well. What's also interesting to know about this is that compared to some of those other type of social media channels like Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, people create a lot of accounts, different platforms come in and out of style. Except for business email addresses where people switch jobs, people typically keep their personal email for a very long time. So if you can tap into that and get into that personal email, that's a really good way for you to create a lifetime relationship with that person and potentially move them to become a customer over time. Okay, so if we know that we don't want to use contests just to get social engagement, we think, all right, email is worth it, we understand that, then why is this what we see all the time? We see things like join my boring newsletter, join my email list for zero value, right? We see prompts to join people's email list tucked away at the bottom of their website. There's really no incentive for people to join. And I hear this a lot. People are saying, oh, I know email marketing is important, and I have a little prompt at the bottom of my website, and I wonder why I have 150 email subscribers, right? And we tell them, well, there's other things that you guys can do to, get people to subscribe to your email list. And instead of actually focusing on the strategies, a lot of times what people do is they turn to kind of these unsavory business practices where they'll buy email lists, they'll use other people's email lists to market their products. And this by far has probably got to be one of the worst user experiences you can give to somebody. Sending somebody unsolicited emails, nothing about them, they haven't opted into a list, is probably the worst thing you could possibly do. So I would encourage you guys, just because email marketing works, please don't turn to the dark side. And instead, I'm going to show you guys how you can actually get an engaged, organic number of email subscribers. And in order to do that, the #1 thing that we found is to run a contest, right? So let me kind of quickly share with you how this would look in terms of the mechanics of it. So assuming you guys want to generate more leads, you want to grow your audience, you want to potentially drive sales from that, here's one of the things that we'd recommend. Create a page, a giveaway page, giving away something of value, right? So here's one of our clients. They said to us, we want to find more people who like hiking, who like outdoors wear. How do we find those people? We said, well, let's create a page that gives away something of value. So for instance, if you guys are a golf company, maybe give away some of your golf apparel, right? Or if you guys are a cosmetics brand, maybe give away some cosmetics. On the page itself, it's important that this is actually, not only it's just a giveaway, but it's also a sales page, right? So I can showcase the value of the product, right? Here's some of the dimensions of it. Here's a little bit more about the quality. Here's some of the key features of it. Here's a bit more about the company, right? So if I'm interested in knowing who the company is, so in this case, they say, buy a shirt, give a lunch, change our community. It's a really easy way for us to share with these people a little bit more about the brand. Now, if I want to enter this, what happens? I can enter my name and my email. And on the second page, and you guys can use many different platforms for this. I'm just kind of showing you the mechanics of how ideally one should look. On the next page, we can say, you just got one entry for sharing your email. If you want an additional entry, why don't you take some additional actions, right? Follow us on Twitter, share this on Instagram, follow us on YouTube, visit our Facebook page. So what I mean to say by this, guys, is that it's not mutually exclusive. Social following, email list capture, we can actually do all these things all at once if we set up a contest in the correct way. So let me maybe just quickly show you guys how this looks, just because I know that people often have a lot of questions about where do people come from? How do you find people to enter the contest? All that. So let me just quickly draw this out for you. Say, for instance, here, we're going to have the contest page. Sorry, pardon my drawing, guys. This is probably not my strong suit. So you see, we're going to have an option for people to win. So this is the contest here, right? We understand, okay, there's a lot of value in the contest. It's easy to enter, but how do we get people to the page? And this is where we typically recommend two channels, Facebook and Instagram. And the reason that we recommend either Facebook or Instagram is that this, if you think about from a user perspective, this is where people typically go when they're just looking around online for something to do, right? Like you're not kind of taking a break at work, you're waiting for the train to come, you're waiting for dinner, you're kind of scrolling around looking for interesting content. And what's more interesting than a contest to win something that's pure value? What's also interesting about this is to know that we can target exactly who you're looking for. So we might be able to target, if you're a golf company, men or women between certain age ranges that like certain brands, right? Like certain golf brands. We can really hone in on that. Do you guys ship to North America? Are you worldwide, right? Or we can look at a geolocation to see where would your best ideal customers be. And when we find an audience we think would resonate with, we're going to start driving ads to this page. Right, so they scroll through, they say, oh, enter for a chance to win this. Okay, I'm into that. Give me your first name, last name, email, any information you guys want. Now, what happens is that all that information typically goes into your database, right? So this is where all your leads are stored. This gets added to your list, right? Whether you're using MailChimp, Infusionsoft, Wishpond, doesn't matter. That's going into a list where you can then keep those leads, right? So DB is going to be your database. Now, what happens is that, say, for instance, we're running this contest and the number of entries we're going to get is going to be determined by, to some degree, the amount of promotion you guys do. Are you posting it on Twitter, sharing it on Facebook? Did you do an email out on it? Are you running ads for it? But just say for numbers' sake, we're doing this. I'm just going to move this up here. Oopsies. We're running this for maybe a month to a month and a half, which is typically how long we run it for. We'd expect maybe on average between, say, 500 to 1,000 leads. That's kind of like the average contest that we see. Now, assuming that 500 people enter, let's say one person wins, we still have 499 people that we've targeted through Facebook and Instagram. We know their demographics, and they've self-segmented themselves by telling us they're interested in the products, right? They're interested in that cosmetic product you have. They're interested in golf. What we can now do is start to deliver customized email campaigns to these people, just introducing them to the brand. And this doesn't have to be 100% sales oriented. This is the one distinction I want to make. Email marketing doesn't have to be buy. It can be actually value driven in the point of you're actually educating these people as to the value of your brand. So here we might have an educational email saying, here's a little bit about the company. Here's how we were founded. Here's some of the reasons why we exist. Maybe about 5 to 7 days later, we can send another email saying, here's 5 different ways that you can actually use our products, right? And here's some different unique opportunities that people have been using us for that you might not have considered, right? We might send another email in about a week and we might talk about some testimonials. So here's people just like you who bought this product, who got a lot of value from it, and here's their story, right? And then we might actually close up after a series of emails, and this is really the customer journey that we're taking people on as to what they should expect when they purchase your products. We might say, you know what, now that we have some awareness, now that we have multiple touch points, so touch points not only from social, they've clicked on it, they self-segmented them, they followed us on social, they've entered their email, now we're following up, educating them on to why they should potentially use our products. Now here's an opportunity for you to buy. And this is the process, guys, that we have seen time and time again work. And the number one thing that's different than what other people are doing when it comes to contests is that the main call to action is generating an email. So we're not saying like us, we're saying here's the main call to action. Give us your email address. You still have the option to follow us on social. And then here's a targeted step-by-step series that's aimed at bringing people from a place of awareness to a place of purchase. Okay, so I'll kind of walk you through what some of those emails might look like just so you can kind of conceptualize what that means. So here's a company, Brave Baby, that we work with, and here's some of the emails that we've created for them. So here would be a welcome email. Welcome emails also can be a great place to put in a small, hey, thank you. So, hey, thanks, sorry you didn't win, but here's a small discount code. Or it can be a great place to just give a little introduction to the company, right? Hey, welcome to Brave Baby. Here's our mission. Here's what we stand for. And here's our goal as a company in terms of, you know, the next couple of years and why we exist. We also have the opportunity to provide just straight educational and informal emails, right? So you might not even know what this company does, right? So you understand, you've seen them a little bit, but it's like, why would I buy from this company? And here we have a little bit more information about what the product is, right? We're not saying, hey, buy now, a huge discount. We're just saying, here's a little bit more about the brand. Here's some things that you could learn about that might be of value to you guys. We also have the opportunity to inspire some different ideas. So here are some different use cases of the product that we have. And again, as we're moving further down this series, we might now have an opportunity to say, you know, I want to buy this gift, or here's the featured product, shop now. So moving them from that stage of awareness to consideration. Building trust. So having some testimonials. This is one thing that people often forget. They often tell me things like, you know, I have this e-commerce company. They say if somebody gets their hands on this product, 100% they're going to buy from us again. People love 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things about it. I ask them, I say, oh, that's such a great thing to know. You know, how many of your prospective customers know that? And they stop and they think, well, I guess probably they don't know that until they use it, or unless they talk to someone from our team. And as we scale up our marketing efforts, it's often these are the things that get lost in translation. So it's really important to kind of toot your own horn, share some of the stories from some of the clients that you guys have in the past, show those testimonials, build that trust. It really means a lot in terms of moving the needle on sales. And then the last thing is that once we've built that trust, how do we actually provide a call to action that makes sense for them, right? Important only for brave moms, here's an opportunity for you to purchase. So again, moving them through that path from consideration to action, how do we actually move the needle on the purchase path there? Okay, so we've seen kind of briefly how Contest works, but why do Contest works, right? To kind of reiterate, Contest works because they provide immediate value to users. So I talk to a lot of customers or a lot of clients of ours, and they say, we've been running Facebook ads for 2 years, spending thousands of dollars a month on Facebook ads, and our conversion rate is super low. And they have a lot of questions about, like, why is that the case? Do I need a new audience? Do I need a new offer? And one of the things that we tell them is that people have never heard of you before. You're trying to target someone who's never seen you. Why would they want to buy your product if they have no idea what you do? You're essentially just saying, buy from me. Just like, I'm trying to take value from you, try to take value from you. Why Contest work is they provide immediate value. So immediately out the gate, there's goodwill there because you're saying, here's something for you. We're not expecting anything in return. Just here is an opportunity for you to learn about our company, right? And here's the campaign that we're running. The second thing is that once we have their information, it allows us to educate them and inform them on the value of your product, right? And this is great for companies that have longer sales cycles. Maybe your product that is in a competitive industry, you have a hard time differentiating yourself. This is a really good opportunity for you to share the value of your product long-term so that you can differentiate yourself in the marketplace. And the third thing is that it lets them decide when they want to buy, right? So we're not running an ad and saying, we're hoping people, when they come on Facebook, are ready to buy today, ready to buy a new diaper caddy today. They may not even know what that is yet. But by learning about your product, by getting multiple touch points with you, it allows them to decide when they're ready to buy. And that's huge. We're talking about customer experience. Why are you rushing me to do something I don't want to do? Provide me ultimately with value out the gate, and then educate me as to what the value of the product is. And then I'd be willing to purchase from you. And that's really what we've seen in terms of high conversion rates and a good customer experience on our end. Okay, so if we're looking at the different contest types, the first one I just showed you is probably the most simplified version. It's called a social, it's basically a sweepstakes or a social sharing contest, as we call it at Wishpond. The first one is sweepstakes, but there's so many other types that we can run. Photo contest, vote contest, video contest, essay contest, referral contest, photo caption contest. Now, these are all very different types of contests, but the one thing that I want to emphasize is that they all have one key component in mind, and it's that the main call to action is to provide an email address and then a supplemental piece of information, whether that's a photo, whether that's a video, whether that's a text paragraph or an essay. Doesn't really matter what it is. The main goal still is to collect an email address in the process. So let me share with you kind of a couple examples so you can see. Here's an idea for a photo contest. Quick tip, if any of you guys have pet companies, so things that cater around dogs, cats, pets in general, or babies, as you saw for Brave Baby, if you ever run a photo contest, you're gonna get an insane amount of entries because, as you may or may not know, people with babies have a lot of photos of their babies on their phone, and people with pets typically have the same as well. So here's a campaign that you can run. You can say, for instance, this is one with Arm & Hammer we did. Enter for a chance to win this customized illustration of your pet. So super cool. They actually drew out like a custom photo of an image of your pet. If you want to enter, upload a photo, give a description, first name, last name, email, right? Whatever information you want. Below, we're going to have a gallery of all these different photos. So people can actually share this with their friends. They can say, hey, vote for Morgan or vote for Dawn, right? We want to win this prize. It's a really fun way to generate a lot of user-generated content and create a lot of buzz. Here's another one, calling all teachers, nominate your favorite teacher. This is great for community building. If any of you guys have community-based programs or your companies that have a social side to it, this is a really good way to get some user-generated content from people. So you can actually start to use that in follow-up emails, as testimonials on your website. Like imagine, for instance, so in the past, we'll say, hey, tag this photo, or people can tag a photo on Instagram for a chance to win. But then after the campaign, you're kind of left with, I don't have anything to show for that. Imagine going into exporting a folder and having all the different photos of people that are talking about your brand, they're talking about things that they like about it, and having that there to use in your marketing materials for testimonials, customer success stories, any of that kind of stuff would be possible by running one of these campaigns. Vote contests work really well. So here's some fun ones we've ran. Are you team sushi or team ramen? First name and email, tell us which one you prefer. Video contests, here's one here where we have one where it talks about some of the negative effects of texting and driving. So people can get really passionate about how they feel about this, and they can upload a video. It's a really good opportunity for people to share with their community. Of course, they've been putting a lot of time into these videos, so they'll probably be sharing with their friends. You also have a nice gallery of content around your brand. Similarly, it doesn't matter if you're running a photo contest, video contest, the same principles apply. We can still follow up with people after educating them, sharing some value with them. So here's a couple things to consider when running a contest. And there's a lot of other campaigns I could show you, but those are just to kind of keep it simple for today. The first thing to think about when running a contest is think about what would be the most valuable thing you would give to your audience, right? Is it some of your products? What would they be drawn to? Is it a gift card? Is it partnering with another company that has another piece of product that would be really good to share with them as a bundle? What would be the most valuable thing you could give to your audience? That's kind of going to be the core of the contest. It doesn't matter if you're on a video contest, vote contest, essay contest, sweepstakes. What are you looking to give away? How can you add value? Number one thing. The second thing is, what information do you want in exchange from that? Do I want your name, email? Do I want a gallery of photos? Do I want videos, right? Think about what you want. And an important thing to consider when you're looking at this is that the more you ask from people, if you want me to make a 5-minute video talking about why I like your brand, you probably need to have a big incentive on the other side of that form. right? So it's, if you want to just do something as a small giveaway, like a $100 gift card, something small like this, $50, a complimentary product, you know, a sweepstakes with just a name and an email works well. If you want something more substantial for me, make sure the offer matches what you're giving away. And the last thing is, think about how you can provide value after the contest, right? So it's not necessarily about how can we just give people, you know, something away or, you know, show them about your product. But again, how do we educate people? What journey do you want people to take once they find out about you that would actually move the needle and potentially turn them into a customer? So what are the stories that you can share? What are the testimonials that are important? What are the use cases of your product? Those are all things to consider. And it's only possible to share that with people once you've collected some information and you're able to follow up with them after. All right, so that's kind of the quick summary of it. I mean, in terms of next steps, if you guys are interested in potentially running a contest, Wishpond, we're based here out of Vancouver, Canada. We have all the resources here to help you guys get started with it. So everything you saw, the software, whether it be the landing pages, contest, the essay contest, the photo contest, all the email marketing to follow up, the tracking, we have all that built in. We've built that out with our team of 30 developers over the last 10 years. On top of that, we also have an entire project management team that's seen these campaigns run from start to finish every single day, and we can run them for you as well. So everyone from account managers, graphic designers, ads managers, strategists, copywriters, QA testers. So it's possible, 100% possible to run these campaigns on your own. And I encourage you to take what I've shared with you and run campaigns and see a lot of success with this. But if you're someone who doesn't have the time or the resources in terms of devoting time to do this, I would encourage you to get in touch with their team and have us give you a hand. So if you guys are interested, please visit www.wishpond.com/VIP-demo. Our team would be happy to chat with you about different campaign ideas, contest ideas, how you can run it, follow-up offers, any of that. We're happy to chat with you guys and give you guys a hand.